As African Muslims, we must be aware that Satan has many armies that he uses in order to attack our faith, causing us to go astray from the straight path. Now, one of those armies that Satan employs are what I call race hustlers. Race hustlers. Race hustlers are people who prey off of the insecurity of a people in a certain race in order to profit from them and also to lead them astray from Islam. Examples of race hustlers are Dr. Omar Johnson. Another example is a man by the name of Tariq, I believe his name is. But he came up with the ADOS terminology, and there are many more that I cannot think of. And we must be aware of them. We must beware of them and stay far away from them. Now, these race hustlers create a sort of religion out of race. And if we want to define a race, we can define it as, if you believe in the concept of race, right? We can define it simply as physical features that a large number of people share, right? They will be a part of that race. Now, I don't believe in race, but let's just go with that definition. If we were to go with that definition, then, there's no difference, in being black than being African. Like, it's just how you look, how you were created by Allah, and that is it. Now, these people, they go further than that. They go far beyond that. They don't say, no, race is not just your features. It's not just a physical feature that you share with these groups of people, but instead it's the belief that you are oppressed by this racial class, and how now this is a belief system, and how you have to see these people as devils, like all white people are devils, so on and so forth, and this will harm people's religion. Another thing that they add to it is rules or codes of conduct, right? How one should carry themselves based on their race. How does that even make sense, right? So an example would be, black people can't marry white people, subhanallah. Now they're creating laws based on race. And where is this coming from? They're just making it up. Another may be, you cannot trust, the white school system because they are indoctrinating and manipulating our children to hate themselves, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not saying these things are not true and stuff like that. I'm not saying these are not true. I'm just saying that these ideologies can potentially harm your faith. It can potentially lead you out of Islam. It can potentially lead you out of Islam because, you're learning belief systems that are contrary to Islam, that contradicts Islam. For example, white people are devils. Where is that in the Quran? It's not in the Quran. When did the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, say that? He didn't say that. In fact, Allah says in the Quran that all human beings are from Adam and Eve. So how can now white people just be devils? So this contradicts Islam. Also, there's a question that arises from these sort of ideologies that are being taught, and this question is, are you black first or are you Muslim first? This question does not make any sense, and I've explained that in another video. But this question can potentially lead someone out of Islam, if they're not careful. If they don't understand Islam, then it will lead them out of Islam. A'udhu billah, may Allah protect us. And I have a story that can present this case very clearly. There was a customer in this store who knew a lot about Islam. She was a European American woman who has blue eyes. Now, this woman was a European American woman with blonde hair, blue eyes, and she knew a lot about Islam, and I was surprised. Subhanallah, I was surprised. And I asked her, was she Muslim? She said no. I said, no, why not? She said she can't be Muslim. And then I asked her, says who? Why can't you be Muslim? She said, because I'm white and I have blue eyes. And the moment she said that, subhanallah, I was so upset. Allahu Akbar. She said that a man that she was with, who was an African American man, he had accepted Islam, and the Islam that he was taught, right, was based on the ideologies of race hustlers, right, where he cannot no longer be with a so-called white woman with, especially with blue eyes, that white women or white people are devils, so on and so forth. And even though she learned Islam in order to be with a man, she couldn't be Muslim, and she couldn't stay with a man, according to the ideology and the belief that he had been taught by those race hustlers. So you see how dangerous it is, for us to listen to these race hustlers, let alone follow them. Allahu Akbar. To conclude, brothers and sisters, stay far away from these people. They are very, very dangerous. Keep them away from your children, and if you see them on TikTok, just scroll. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I pray that you and your family are well. Wassalamu alaikum.